Toronto FC's up-and-down MLS season hit a low in last week's 2-1 loss at New York City FC. The 68th-minute winning goal by Norwegian striker Jo Inge Berget was an ugly snapshot of what has gone wrong this season. After an 8-pass build-up, Toronto midfielder Marky Delgado's attempt to get the ball to Victor Vasquez instead went to a NYCFC defender at the edge of the penalty box. 4 passes later, New York had scored at the other end. Toronto FC midfielder Michael Bradley left battles for the ball with New York City FC in their 2-1 loss last week. Adam Hunger, the Associated Press, it was another example of giving the ball away in a bad place, something coach Greg Vanney has harped on of late. Giveaway stranded 5 Toronto attackers looking to continue the attack. But more worrying is the body language after the errant Delgado pass. Forward Sebastian Giovinco throws his arms up in frustration. Vasquez and Nico Hassler hunched over. As the NYCFC counterattack builds speed, the Toronto midfield moves back at a leisurely pace. One pass cuts 4 of them out, leaving a backpedaling Nick Hagglund unable to deal with an on-rushing Berget. Fellow defender Eric Zavaleta can't cut in to help because he has another attacker on his shoulder in the absence of the Toronto wing-back caught upfield. Article continued below. Toronto's 29th goal conceded this season is hard to watch. It was hot. Guys were obviously frustrated because it was a pass maybe we weren't expecting to lose, Vanney said after training Friday. And we've been talking about not losing balls where we're 100% in possession and then all of a sudden we're 100% out of possession. Regardless of all that, our reactions just need to be better in that moment. We need to push through it, try to recover and put out the fire. Toronto looks to try to regain its footing as the other New York team, the Red Bulls, comes to visit Sunday on what promises to be a torrid Canada Day afternoon with 35 degrees Celsius temperatures in the forecast. The Red Bulls, 9-4-2, enter the weekend in 3rd place in the East, 14 points ahead of 10th place Toronto, 4-8-3. The visitors have been in good form in league play of late, unbeaten in 3 games, 2-0-1, and having lost just once in their last 9 outings, 6-1-2. A good competitive rebound game for us, said Vanney. Article continued below. Toronto has had to deal with many bumps in its road this season. They had to hit the ground running in the CONCACAF Champions League following a short off-season after winning the MLS Cup. Vanney's team more than held its own against Mexican opposition, beating Tigres and Club America. Its defense ravaged by injury, TFC fell to Chivas Guadalajara in the final on a penalty shootout. The injuries carried into the regular season, with the number of walking wounded eventually taking a toll on the remaining players. Brazilian Oro, a stalwart in the first third of the season, broke down and exited early last Sunday in New York. On offense, Giovinco has missed the presence of strike partner José Altidore, foot surgery. Altidore's absence has forced playmaker Vasquez to play further up at times. 6 points out of a playoff spot with at least a game in hand on most of those above it in the Eastern Conference, the season is far from over for the MLS champions. Vanney believes his team is overthinking things, trying to do too much. We feel like, we have to get a win, we have to get a win, we have to get a W, said Vanney, whose team has only 4 league victories and 15 tries. And so sometimes I think we get a little extended trying to win the game early when over 90 minutes. If we just stick to what we do, then we give ourselves the best chance to win the game, and that was something we were so good at last year. And a lot of us, we were able to get the first goal and be able to control the game thereafter. This season, Toronto has scored just 1 goal in the first 15 minutes of a game while conceding 7 over the same time period. TFC is 0-7-1 when it concedes the first goal of a game, with only Montreal 0-9-0 worse. Captain Michael Bradley says the team is working hard to fine-tune its performance. In the difficult moments you find out a lot about yourself, about the guys that you're with, about the mentality and the overall commitment of the group, he said. It's not been an easy stretch in any way. But everything's right there for us, everything's still to play for, we've got to keep going, understanding that nothing's going to get given to us. There's no magic switch to flip. The only way you get yourself going and get out of a little bit of a rut like this is to have more guys who are ready to play and compete, and understand there may be even more difficult moments before we really get it going. But ultimately we're going to come out the right end.